This is Lisa Simpson, a very intelligent, responsible, and yes-loving 8-year-old girl who's also a psychopath. She may seem like your typical harmless girl, but deep down she's a lunatic who will be capable of committing the worst acts in order to look like the good guy and feel superior. Like the time when Bart lost his very beloved calf, Lou, Lisa played recordings of animals dying under his bed while he slept to try to convince him to stop eating meat. Oh, that wasn't very nice of her. She attempted to emotionally manipulate her own brother by using a loved one he had lost just to make him a vegetarian. Oh, she's not a bad person, that's for sure. So let's see the most terrible, evil, selfish, and unethical things that Lisa Simpson has done. Starting out soft. Lisa has always been known for being one of the smartest people in the school, even in the entire city.
Maybe you could have been nicer to Principal Skinner, if you know what I mean.
But what happens when a new student arrives who's not only smarter than her, but is more bullied? Hits tastier riffs on the saxophone, and it's a year younger than Lisa. Of course, a strong friendship will emerge where both complement each other, and those will inspire, drive, and grow each other. Nah, just kidding, she becomes crazy. But it's not only she's superior to her because all those aspects. No, of course not. It's because she's also richer and more successful. As Lisa gets closer to Allison, she starts feeling a lot of envy. And as we're going to see, Lisa can't stand the idea that there is someone more intelligent than her. So she ruins Allison's work in the contest by changing her model for a heart of a cow, causing Skinner to school her so hard she cried. Really emotional. Although the guilt ate her and she ended up returning the model,
I don't deserve to win.
Well, this doesn't deserve to win.
Plus Ralph takes the two baddies home. So overall, a happy ending. In the episode The Old Man and Lisa, Mr. Burns goes completely broke and loses everything.
I normally don't laugh at other people's misfortunes, but
Lisa's choosing a little side hustle that can make in a few dollars, and that's recycling.
Half ton of newspaper and all we get is 75 cents?
to save one whole tree.
Mr. Burns, being a businessman, he quickly gets back up, scaling up the recycling business. This makes the little girl feel good because she feels that she's taking care of the planet and in the process changing the evil old man. Business is great, as in a few days they create a big recycling plant. However, he then tells her that since a 6-pack holder will catch one fish, a million sons together will catch a million fish. So then turn them into a fish paste that he will send as a multi-purpose product. Wow, he's a genius. With those savvy moves, he becomes a multi-millionaire again. And in an act of, I don't know, we could say honesty, Mr. Burns offers her 10% of all the profits. That's $12 million. A figure she totally rejects for going against her ecological, vegan, family-friendly principles. You might say, well, actually, you're an idiot. Lisa did the right thing by rejecting 12 million ill-gotten dollars. That money represents everything she hates, and if she had accepted them, she would have sold her principles. Sometimes our beliefs can affect our judgment and do not allow us to see beyond our own pride. This is just a clear example. Of course, that money represents something bad, because the money comes from the slaughter of various maritime species. But yo, Lisa, what about using the brain you say you have? Listen, it didn't occur to your mind that with that money, you can open foundations that help animals in danger, altruistic associations, schools for low-income children, help your family to have a decent life? I don't know, there is so many things. Just watch any Mr. Beast video and you'll get an idea. Those $12 million have the potential to become something good that heals the damage caused by acquiring it. And the fact of not accepting it ends up being worse, because you let that dirty money stay dirty and cause more environmental damage in the long run. So the moral of the story is that money is always the solution, or else how you're gonna pay for the hospital bills he caused to his dad for suffering 4 simultaneous heart attacks.
Sweetheart.
In the episode Jazzy and the Pussycats, after Bart's constant mischievousness, the kid is sent to a child psychiatrist who, surprisingly, didn't prescribe Adderall to make him dependent on drugs for the rest of his life. Rather, he recommended therapy of music to calm the impulse of idiocy. A very successful method since Bart turns out to be a total prodigy, and he's using all his energy to skillfully play the drums. The only problem is that drums are not very quiet, since it wouldn't let Homer and Marge sleep. However, Lisa has a solution to solve this problem. She offers to take Bart to a jazz club so that her parents can sleep. They start playing together until two professional jazz musicians ask Bart to play with them. This infuriates Lisa, who enviously is hating on Bart. Even her parents say that she should be happy with her brother's achievements, as he wants to know everything about Josh.
I need you to teach me all about the world of jazz.
It's jazz!
Bart becomes an important element of the jazz presentations in the city, which corrects his rebellious character. So as a jazz musician, he won't be ever addicted to Adderall, but rather intravenous heroin. Instead of being happy for her brother, she's mad because it's not her who appears on those magazine covers, and uses the good old trick of playing the victim. So for compensate for her evident lack of emotional control, she begins to adopt every animal found on the city. She even took an elephant to her attic. While the family was having dinner, some strange noises can be heard. Lisa goes up to stop them.
Not smoking reefer.
That's right.
I smoke marijuana so I don't beat my wife and children.
This causes a tiger to bite Bart's arm, seriously injuring him. This will prevent him from playing that activity that had been the perfect skate to be able to straighten his life. They plan to do a benefit concert to be able to operate Bart's arm so that he can play again. For some strange reason I don't get, Marge makes Lisa look like a poor victim for stolen adopted animals, since they tell them that the animals should go away or they will be put to sleep. Bart, in an act of kindness, helps his sister by giving her all the money that was intended for the surgery to create an area where those creatures can rest. That is when Lisa learns her lesson and apologizes for being so envious and not being happy for his achievements. Nah, just kidding. She doesn't learn because she never apologizes. One of the reasons why Bart is a failure is because Lisa, in the vast majority of cases, Lisa ruins his opportunities to make it out of Springfield, trying always to leave her brother in the shadows. Since just as we saw a moment ago, she does not tolerate Bart standing out. In the episode E, my sports, where in a rainy day everyone is happy since it had already been 5 days without Bart's antics, because Homer gave him a devastating, cruel and unfair punishment.
I sat the boy down, looked him straight in the eye, and bought him a top-of-the-line computer gaming rig.
So apparently of all the addictions I've previously mentioned, he ends up with one way worse. League of Legends addiction.
I addicted him to something that will numb his spirit until he's no longer our responsibility.
The vibes are not great with Lisa, but the next morning Bart didn't come out of the bathroom. And that's really weird, since LoL players don't shower.
Oh my god, he's playing with himself on that game.
Homer tries to stop him until he finds out that he could make money. First $1,000 and then a tournament in South Korea where they could win $500,000. They start taking this very seriously as he hires an expert who teaches them everything. However, the young man turns 19, so there is no more time for playing video games. He has to become one more cog in this chaotic and depressing system called adulthood. Anyways, somehow Homer is the one coaching the team with a very alpha energy. The team wins, getting the ticket to the final in South Korea. Meanwhile, Lisa is complaining about his father not paying attention to her, which we all know is a lie. There's a bunch of episodes spending time together. And of course, as it had to be, now she's playing the victim again. And it turns out going to South Korea to visit the Buddhist temple is a dream of her. How convenient, right? Plus, she uses emotional manipulation just to make sure.
Bart and Dad go to Seoul and I miss out. I'll lose my grip. Ah! I'm losing it now!
The spoiled brat gets her way and fulfills her dream. And while Bart is playing, Lisa introduces Homer the idea that the true peace is in the dispossession of material things, which changes Homer's perception of Bart's career and sabotages the tournament, destroying his son's future as a professional esport player, a path with virginity intact. So maybe it's not all bad.
260 solo wins? Hell yeah. Let's go.
Not content with being able to go to South Korea, she had to get her ideas into Homer's sausage brain. Even if it was Homer who provoked the blackout, he was influenced by Lisa and her need to get into everyone's mind, as we will see in the next episode. The episode, Thought, Why Hast Thou Forsaken Me, shows us a conflict that we don't usually take into account. What's in the mind of a child who lost his mother and it has been so long that he no longer remembers her. This is the case of Todd. In this episode, he is very hurt for the loss of his mother, that he stopped believing in God. Here we will see that Flanders will try to recover his faith with a very weird method. sending him to the Simpsons house. That with the things that happen in that home, he can experience health on Earth, and thus he can recover his faith. And in that home is Lisa, the spike-evil brat no one likes, except for 3 accounts on Twitter that are probably multi-accounts of the same person. She will take advantage of the situation, but not to guide Todd to a discovery of his own spirituality or a path in search of answers. Nah, it's Lisa. She will take advantage of Todd's emotional weakness to try to convert him to Buddhism constantly without taking into account Lil Broy's suffering. Oh, and you know what really makes me angry? Something that makes me feel sick is that during the church sermon, Todd screams that he lost his faith, and Lisa seems quite happy. As if a leash was waiting for an opportunity to enter into his mind. Perhaps many say it's not a big deal, but you have to understand she's taking advantage of a really rough time for Todd, a child who lost his mother, trying to manipulate him and introducing her own beliefs. That's how sects operate, by the way. Flanders is also destroyed, so we see him getting drunk with Homer, which is very unusual, but it's good to see. What a king.
It's the beginning of a beautiful...
Surprisingly, we see Bart praying, which officially certifies him as the MVP of this video, but it is Marge a more mature person, since she is the only one who does not try to manipulate the poor child. She makes him understand that sometimes an honest talk to himself is the only thing needed to find a way. In the episode Dude, Where's My Ranch?, the family goes south for a while to feel that rusty ranch living. Here Lisa meets a boy named Luke, and who quickly falls in love with, since same as her, he cares about the well-being of animals and has a certain artistic sensitivity. Everything goes well until she finds out that Luke is waiting for the arrival of a girl named Clara for a dance, breaking her heart. And during a walk through the forest, she meets Clara, who's looking for the way to the ranch. Lisa, like a spiteful mad woman, sends Clara the wrong way. During the dance, she finds out that she is Luke's sister, but considering the conditions, they probably hid that. What's funny is that she feels guilty only when she finds out she's his sister. If she had not found out, or if Clara had really been Luke's girlfriend, she wouldn't care. And poor Clara was in danger since she ended up lost in the forest and about to fall into a river. But worry not, since the MVP of this video saves her. What a chat!
Well, that certainly justifies attempted murder.
The good thing is that unlike the typical cliché, Luke ends up hating Lisa. Oh boy, I love happy endings. Oh wait! What is that? Is Lisa harming Bart yet again? Here I want to mention 2 equally despicable occasions. In the episode My Sister, My Sitter, Lisa starts working as a babysitter and ends up taking care of Bart. Something that bothers him since he feels humiliated to have to be taken care of by his younger sister. Yeah, I agree, that's embarrassing. Bart did not behave so well. Total nuisance, just like an iPad kid without Roblox. Bart ends up falling down the stairs and breaking his arm. The same fate that an iPad kid would have if I took care of him. With a broken arm, Bart harms himself even more, to the point of fainting. He did all that because if she takes him to the hospital, her reputation as a babysitter was going to be ruined. And since she was making a bag for babysitting, so instead of taking him directly to the hospital or calling Dr. Hibbert, she dragged him to Dr. Nee's dubious charity clinic, where he assures complete confidentiality. In the end, her plan doesn't work, since Bart ends up falling off a cliff, and they end up discovering her anyways. Huh, she obviously wasn't that good at babysitting. In the other case of this position, we have the time that they started working on a children's news program. In this episode, Lisa begins to feel envy, since the MVP has enough charisma to be the main reporter along with her. This jealousy causes her to insult him, mistreat him, and she even tried to copy his most famous segment, but seeing that nothing worked to get rid of him, she sends him to a very dangerous place because attempted murder is hilarious. Here he is attacked violently by Willie, the gardener, whom his house lost because of Bart, and now he wants to kill him. Yep, Lisa's envy and her lack of responsibility endanger Bart's life in several occasions. Lisa can be ruthless and heartless at times. Okay, before we go to the last position, we need to quickly mention the time she met Billie Eilish, where Lisa has the nerve to say that her father never supported. What? When we all know that he was the only one who bought her saxophone, prioritizing the happiness over the comfort of an air conditioner. Twice. or when he bought her a horse because she no longer loved him, which forced him to have 2 jobs to cover the expenses, or when he changes the last rip of the world to be able to reach Lisa's championship. That's just... One afternoon, Bart and Lisa are riding their bikes in the top of a mountain. There they discover Martin excavating.
Could be one of the major homos.
You're one of the major.
Forget it.
Because of a silly prank by Bart, Martin falls on a rock, being trapped on the edge of the canyon. So Lisa, being the smartest kid that she is, because she is very intelligent, remember? She ends up pushing the little nerd towards his death. At first, Lisa seems to be ready to confess, and Bart ready to flee the scene. They both realize they are murderers, where Lisa says she's just an accomplice. Bart understands the seriousness of the situation and decides to turn himself, but realizing what the confession would imply, Lisa forces him to keep quiet. For the rest of the episode, we see Bart becoming more and more unstable and anxious, while Lisa, like a psychopathic criminal, will force him to stay quiet and not show fear. In fact, in this episode we can see the true natures of both. While Bart usually is a mischievous boy who does bad things, deep down he knows limits and knows when he made a mistake. He's mature enough to try to fix it, or at least confess what he has done. While Lisa is that person that on the outside wants to show herself as a good person with good values and morality. But on the inside, she's someone selfish who will always act for her own benefit. In the end, she comes to her senses thanks to Bart, who was so desperate to say the truth that he had gone to Martin's house to try to fix things, like a normal, sensible human being. Meanwhile, Lisa was using her big brain, plotting to steal a corpse's hand from the morgue to use its fingerprints. Wow, imagine this being your babysitter. Lisa Simpson is the definition of I'm 14 and this is deep. Full of strange ideas that she only has because she wants to feel morally superior, constantly yapping about stuff when she only cares about herself. Yap, yap, yap. Of course, Lisa is not the only person who has done terrible things. So let me know who should be the next victim. I mean, yeah, like the video, subscribe.